Good evening. I'm Minister Lewis Jerome Armstrong, and we have a beautiful video for you today. If you heard something that came through there on Facebook, you know, you get this is what we had to do for the moment, but now everything is straight. But we got a beautiful video for you today, and I want you to see this conversation because it's very important. The name of this is Jews and Negroes 2019 to 2020. It's a very important video that deals with the social, economic, political, moral, and DNA, dying appetite of mankind, of how we as a society have to learn how to embrace each other in a right way. That way we won't hinder each other from growing the way that God intended for us to grow as a human race. Okay, as a human race. And we got to keep that in mind. Before I go deep into the video, I want you the book Judgment of America, this video is going to be based on this, the second chapter in this, you're going to see that it's going to have something about this. It's not going to have this title here, but it's going to have some of the things on this board in this second chapter, especially dealing with the philosophy of Jesus. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to get these books. You can get this book at Barnes & Noble. You can get it at Amazon. Get online on Amazon and other outlets on the internet, and also you can get it from Author House. All you have to do is put in your phone Author House, and they're going to pull up their phone number. You'll see their phone number, and you can be able to purchase this book. This is a book that you need at this particular time of human history. And I encourage you, not just because I wrote this book, I'm encouraging you to get this book because if you've seen the last few lectures, you know that this book was showing something, and them lectures were showing something that nobody in no church building have ever shown you or outside either when they're dealing with prophecy. So we need to understand this, and we need to attach ourselves to find out what's next, what's good in that book. And as I lecture it, it's going to give you more understanding. That's why I'm encouraging you to get this book, have it in your household, and when you see me do lectures, or you could go back and check some of my lectures, you could begin to understand, especially when I tell you and direct you to the chapter in which it's going to be. And you need to see that. One of the past videos, you need to go back. If you haven't seen, go back and look at the one that deal with Joseph time, the 21 years of American history, dealing with the King's Dream. You're going to see that one, a fantastic video. Go back and look at the one that show Jonah time, how Syria and America, Jacksonville and Nineveh, Jacksonville, St. Augustine and Nineveh, how they have similarities, great similarities. And we need to see that because those are signs, those are parts of the scripture, parts of using the arts in order to open your eyes to understand that this Bible has a high level of consciousness within it, that you cannot pick it up by just reading. And once you learn from an initiate that understand that and have the keys to the codes to unlock this book, then you'll begin to see God like you've never seen him before. You'll be able to be wowed. And that's what we are here to do, to wow you with truthism. Also, get the book, Black Nostradamus Prophecy of American Future. This is a good book to have. You need this book. Both books you need. The one, Black Nostradamus Prophecy of American Future, it has some of the things in the latter part of that book, but it has some prophecies that you could look at and you could relate to them since this book been written, and you could also see things yet to come. So this is a good book to have, especially at this time, and individuals want to know where America is going. Now, always have your good Bible. King James Version, don't have one that translated all that other stuff. Get your old King James Version. That way you can be able to use that writing in order to translate and understand how you can see the codes better. Most of the Bibles that they have, and I have to say this because someone may get one of the Living World Bibles or some of this other stuff, this recent stuff, who's trying to translate the Bible and the Bible in code, and they just reading it, trying to literally translate it. You ain't got nothing, okay, when you come by knowing the truthism of God. You cannot do and find those truthisms when somebody's trying to explain to you and tell you what it is. That's like being back in church, who they trying to tell you and propagate to you and tell you stuff that you don't need to know because it's called predictive programming, and you don't need that in your life. You got to walk away from that part of Christianity, that part of the church to deal with that. Now, let's get into the video. Jews and Negroes, 2018 to 2020. Why did I pick that chapter? Because it fit the now. It fit what needs to be now, what black folks need to be doing right now to understand that it's their time to walk up and step up to certain areas of their life. They don't need other individuals to remain doing it for a long period of time anymore. Yes, they stationary where they at now, but you got to move on. It's not taken away from them and getting them a target to pull in somebody else. That's what they want to do. But black folks in America and others who believe in that this is a time that the Jubilee done came, and this is the time that Joshua time to move forward and be able to claim certain areas of America and to be able to build that civilization that's in their consciousness, in their dream that need to be in America to make America truly great. See, we are not trying to make America great again because from 1619 until now, America haven't been so great to the black man and black woman in America. Now, some individual may say, well, I got my Mercedes, I'm driving my Benz, and what is this Negro talking about? I play with the NBA, I play with Dallas Cowboys, I play with this, I play basketball with this and that, all this thing, and I got this degree and all that. But Negro, whoa, from the way that God showed me when you ain't got them keys, it's like a walking dead man. And that's what we have been as a people. See, we got to understand these things so we can move forward, because we got to know that if we follow the 5 divine laws of God that never been taught to us, we don't need the Jew to handle our finances when we are professional athletes. We don't need Jews. Now, one while we had to do certain things because we had to move through the gap because of the white supremacy and the racism. Even they were racist against the Jew. But we done moved a little further, and if we haven't moved a little further so we can take that next road, we got to take that next step on our own as a people. See, we need to be in a territory now. See, when Joshua left out of one area of Egypt and went to Canaan, let's look at it like it is now. When Joshua left from one part of Egypt and went to Canaan, see, people don't understand that the Pharaohs owned Canaan too. So they wasn't leaving the territory of Egypt. They were leaving the area, a certain part of it. See, I never told black folks to get up and go to Ghana or go to all the other places and all that other nonsense. I told you, look, brothers and sisters, y'all can make it big time. God got it written in his word that y'all could do quite well in those areas. And what areas are those? North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. The area in which Pastor Leon them came over looking for the fountain of youth. You had a Jewish group coming over here looking for the Florida list. See, those people wasn't stupid. Those was educated, smart, spiritual people that was knowing there's something about America and knowing there's something about this location in America. See, but they knew how to work the keys. But see, black folks, if they don't know how to work the keys, what I'm saying to you is like nonsense, okay? Yeah, you go down to St. Augustine, they got a sign say the fountain of youth, yeah, whatever. I just see it as regular water. The fountain of youth have nothing to do with no water coming out of no ground. That's only an aspect of just having clean water. The fountain of youth have something to do with a spiritual movement. And these people knew that of God. And it's supposed to happen at a certain time of human history. And that movement is supposed to bring the political atmosphere, climate to the area of St. Augustine, Jacksonville. And that's what it was all about. That they could be able to build the type of people that they need to be that free-thinking people that they could be and get from under that Roman tyranny and all this other stuff. And they knew that the prophecy deal with the location. It's the same location, a part of the same location that's included in the 40 acres and the mule. We got to see this stuff now. Come on, jump aboard, thinkers. I'm asking thought to be in your mind now. And we need to see this. Let's deal with this now. Revelation 2, 1 to 10. These things said the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. Let's stop there before we go any further now. Because, see, some of the brothers, they get on me when I still use Jesus, because I have to understand that, you know, you don't just take the umbilical cord off the kid in the womb. You got to take the kid out of the womb. Set him on a nice cloth if you can. and then you cut the umbilical cord. See, some of the people in my audience and some people out there, they still in the womb. They're babies in the knowledge of things. So if you advance and you done came out of that and your cord already cut and you saying Horace, don't get mad at me telling one of them Jesus, because I'm talking about the same person. Okay? Now, you got to be wise enough to know what I'm doing. I know who these peoples are. I teach it. Go back and study my lectures. But I need to move God's people now. I need them to understand certain things. And it's for people like you. When they may make a comment and say this and that, it's for you to get on there and tell them, look, the brother is talking about Horace. The brother's talking about thought. The brother's talking about Tahuti. The brother's talking about many more names that they call them. The brother's talking about Hermes. The brother's talking about Mercury. The brother's definitely talking about Melchizedek. And the Christian world know and have heard of Melchizedek as being one of the greatest men that ever existed in the Bible. Come on now. Ain't no preacher in this Christian environment or Jewish environment or any kind of environment to deal with these religions with that will say that there was anybody greater than Melchizedek. Although some want to put Abraham there. Melchizedek is the man. In Egyptian mythology, Melchizedek, which is thought, is the man. He's the one, the priest of the Most High God. He's the one that connects us. He is the chief one of the master of the netters. He knows the science. He knows the magic. And always understand what magic is. Magic is simply science, not understood. It is never more than that. And once we know how to work the magic that we need to transform our life, then we begin to see a scientific marvel. And it takes that to move the black man from all these different states around this union to this location so he could run the insurance companies, so he could run the bank and financial institution, so he could run the political environment, so he could run all the supermarkets, all the stores, all the stockbrokers and stuff and all that. He could be able to run his own neighborhood, and not only his neighborhood, run the town and be the voice of it, because he have became the majority and he have the knowledge of God. He can't help but be great. And we don't need nobody to hold us down. See, this is a new day, a new time. And we must see this. Now let's deal with it. Now, many times I'll tell you that certain things was written in. If I want you to believe that Jesus died on the cross and that, we're going to deal with that sin for the sins of the world. If I wanted you to think that Jesus died on the cross, it's a story going to come there. But that's his story. That don't mean that story have any historical facts with it. But that's his story. So when you read Revelation and it comes from his hand, you're going to see inside that those truthisms, his story. And this man that they say was dead and is alive, that goes for Melchizedek too. He could lay down his body and he could not only lay it down, he could lay it down and pick it up and transform it. So that didn't just happen with Jesus. That happened with Melchizedek. But people don't talk about that. See, that happened with Horace, but they don't want to talk about that. See, the Jews don't even want to talk about that themselves. So when the Jews don't talk about it, what they do in this story, they talk about the Jew and tell the Jew that he's of the synagogue of Satan. Come on. Come on, you individuals. Come on. Now, in the church, they run with that because they don't understand that it needs to be interpreted. And let's go on now. Let's go on with this. I know thy works and thy tribulation. Now, the Jews are the Jews that we are talking about, the white Jews that come from the Turks. This ain't about no tribulation that they went through, although they had to go through this Holocaust. This tribulation that they're talking about right now is the transatlantic slave trade, that 400-year tribulation. And that's what you got to understand. I want to go further with it. And poverty. Now, but thou art rich. Now, we know black folks ain't the ones that he's talking about. Thy poverty, yeah, but thou art rich. No. See, and that's why they had this in parentheses, because they wanted you to think they was talking about the Jew that's saying that he's a Jew. And he rightly have a right to say what he want to say like that. And I'm not saying he's not a Jew. If you tie into Abraham, the God that ties into Moses and Joshua and stuff like that, and you believe that you are connected to that, and that whether you came during the time of the Turks, and et cetera, the Khazars and all that, your belief system tie you into that, and you live that faith and you walk that faith of that, then I can't dismiss you from being who you are, who you want to be, But it's more to it than that now. But I'm not going to come here and pound you and say that. And I definitely won't use this scripture on you, because by being an initiate, I know that this stuff in here don't fit you. It don't fit you. But they make it fit you when they go down here and say, listen what he say. I know thy blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are of the synagogue of, now, they would use Satan. They use Satan on them. Now, this should know better. He know what Satan really is. So he'll know when they use that, they throw a stone then. So the ones who did this was throwing a stone to satisfy the environment in which this book was written. But at the same time now, you got to know this book was written in the 1600s. Now, at the same time, there was trouble happening with the Jewish people in Spain and some other areas, and Jews was being able to, some areas they had to flee. They had to look for refuge in other areas. So when you see them say that, and you know when this book was written, etc., and they use the word Satan, now you know it's not Satan. Initially, know that that's not Satan. The word that's supposed to be there is Satan. Let's him in now. Let's get this thing. The word that's supposed to be there is Satan. Why is it Satan and it's not Satan? Because Satan is not like the devil. And I'm going to go into Satan one day and let you know. It's a spiritual force, but it was made up with man doing. Not that he orchestrated, it just happened because his evil, his wrongdoing and all that is created wrongdoing society, or the wrong within a society that he pushed to be a reality. It become an energy force, and it become part of what we know as Satan. Not the devil, Satan. See, Satan is energy created by man because man don't know the truth, and he trying to push a lie, and that energy is part of what is known as Satan, not Satan. Now, why is it Satan? Because Satan, when you look at Satan, what goes with Satan? Saturday. Look up Satan, they're going to tell you, and the Jew is going to show you the word Saturday. Why is it Saturday? Because the Jews worship their God, Yahweh. The people have different names for them. Some people may use the word tetragrammaton and many others, but they worship their God on that day, Saturday. Okay? And you need to see this. Now, I'm saying this not that I'm here to defend the Jew, but the Jew is a human being just like anybody else. And if I see that I'm an initiate, I'm going to tell the truth in it. I'm not going to sit there and let you beat on a man, whether he's a Jew or Gentile or whatever he is, with a lie. Let's deal with it now. Let's deal with it with a lie. And this lie been told across many pulpits of America. This lie been told to many black churches. This lie been told across many people, and they said it and not knowing what it is because they was not an initiate. So Satan was on his J-O-B. He was on his J-O-B because man created that thought the Jew being of the synagogue of Satan. God didn't have that written in there. Man put it in there. And they might have had certain political reason, social reason, etc. Because at one time, the Negro caused a lot of hate with the white man, but the Jews wasn't allowed to go in certain public bathrooms neither. The Jews wasn't allowed to do certain things neither. The Jews were looked at as less than the European white man. And although they come from Turkey, and although they look like, some of them look just identical, you can't tell a Jewish white man from a French white man, or a French white man from a Jewish German white man, etc. And we got to see this thing, my people, because we got to know what we need to be doing now. We can't depend on my Jewish brother to do the things he's supposed to do when he don't see the vision that God have put in this Bible that thought have brought to me to use to help liberate these black folks and others. See, I'm not coming dishing this book. I'm not coming with all the other books. I'm coming with this book and saying to you that some things in this book is not in, that need to be with this book is not in there. But the things that we have, we're going to work with them. And as I need to read things that's supposed to be in there that ain't in there to you, I will approach it at that time. But I want you to understand that this book is a book of thought. This book, Melchizedek had a lot to do with this book coming down. And this book also been tampered with. Oh yeah, it's been tampered with. And you need to know everything. I said this book could free you, and the same book could enslave your behind. Okay? And I mean that in the sense of saying a brother to a brother, sister, a brother to a sister. We have to watch out for each other. Okay? Now, let's go on. I had to say that because what we have been dealing with without the TV set, without the radio, but in a society for 2,300 years is predictive programming. That's one reason why you have a dark age come. See, the Catholic Church or the Vatican, at that time they had the religious power and things like that. They didn't want no free thinkers, and this ain't going to beat on them either. They ain't want no free thinkers. See, they knew that there's a certain time before these people wake up. They understood that. And they were going to keep them under their control as long as they possibly can. And being to face reality, they did that. They did that. And we need to see this. Now, I'm going to talk more about predictive programming. And I got here BS programming, and it's not for the little kids, it's only for the adults. And understand, I'm not trying to, but it's what it is. It was there in the age of Pisces to deceive us. And so I don't give them no credit for no predictive program that the program was there to deceive. Okay. The church do not know what, no, let me say this now. The church did not want you to be free thinkers. They didn't want that. Even Catholic Church had a problem with that when Martin Luther hung the theses, the things on the door. You know, you had a big breaking away, and the Catholics didn't like that. So to be free thinkers, they don't want that. Even the church today, these little Protestant churches, which is tied to the Catholic Church by faith, but by who they are and by their book, they got to understand that they are the same way. Whether you're Pentecostal, Baptist, Presbyterian, Lutheran, Catholic, Mormon, whatever, you're the same way. I know when Joseph Smith went, how the story goes, Joseph Smith went to pray and asked God, what church of John? What did the story come back and said? That God said to him, the individuals who met him that looked identical, I always say that was thought, okay? But people, and thought is a God. He's the God on the God. God, he's a priest. I would say He's a priest and king. Now, we got to understand that the word God was not something, it's something that the European brought up. It was, when you're talking about the Hebrews and the Egyptians in that environment, they had what you call netters. And there's no word as God to match up with that, what is called a netter. Okay? And we got to see that and study about the netters. You'll see it come from the word nature. It's a force of nature. It's a power of nature that God has put here. And that power could come into an individual like thought. And thought could do magic. Thought could write books. Thought could have medicine. Thought could control this. He could control that. Because it's the power of God that God has placed here on this planet. And when we say nature, it's not always about the plants. It's not always about the animals. But it's a power that God has put in our universe that we could connect to, that connect to Him, that make things happen, that we look at it as magic. We look at it in a sense as the acoustic records, because it's an intelligence. It's an intelligence, my people, that we have to understand. Now, let's go a little further in this. Now, I wrote the NAACP, a social movement, organization, focusing, and it focused on, shaping things. It was like, to shape by those earlier founders and stuff like that. It was shaped by the earlier founders, and it came and tried to help shape the black community, and you got others, the one that King have, I think SELC and something like that, even Jesse have, the Rainbow Coalition. Sharpton probably got something too, I don't know his right on. But what it is, NAACP came in, the Negro Association for the Advancement of Colored Peoples. It came into existence through the Jews now. Now, black folks didn't make this thing now. Jews made this. Jews sought this up. And I wouldn't say that they wouldn't have good intentions. Oh, yeah, I think they had good intentions now, trying to help black folks. Whether it was monetary in the long process or not, it became a monetary gain for the Jewish people. And why do I say that? Because one thing the NAACP did not do, it did not give the black man, because the Jew, now I say this because the Jew believed in Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, if you believe in Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, or that term, or that energy from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that myth or that story from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the knowledge of the cross was way back then at the beginning when God created man, and you believe that, then, and you didn't teach these black folks this philosophy, but you use the philosophy in your own life because you have made a big fortune in economics. Okay, let's deal with it from your activity. You have still now, you got Jewish communities, and you don't really care about nobody coming and telling you what to do in your communities all over the country. And you got committees in your social environment to keep your social environment right, and even in places like New York, I don't know what you got now, I guess you still have it. You even have people's citizens policing the community, and etc. So drive-by shooting and all this other stuff you would hardly ever even imagine could be in the Jewish community. Okay, you have yourself entrenched in the political environment, and you have put peoples in high office, and some of your peoples are now in high office. Okay. Now I'm talking about the Caucasian Jew. Okay, right now, because this is what the Bible have brought out in this country, and this Bible here was sent to America. It's about America. So the Jews in America are the Jews that we relate to as being Jews. The white Caucasian, okay, as being the Jews, okay. Now, in this, these individuals have used their craft, their knowledge, and they have not shared that knowledge with black folks, and they have used that knowledge to benefit themselves and to make their neighborhood and their people great. A lot of times we want a nice suit. We went to the Jewish tailor. A lot of times some of us wanted to buy a house, and we couldn't get proper financing, credit and stuff like we should from others, and the Jews did that. Sometimes when we had an invention and we had a record deal that we wanted to make, we went to the Jews. Now, most people know them Jews ain't been fair to us all the time now, but they stayed in the gap so they can make money as well so as you make money. But see, the whole thing is that they didn't teach you a certain knowledge that was manifest in their arena that the European one from England and other place, or what they call the white European, didn't show you, and they didn't show you either. Y'all got to get this now. I'm not anti-Semite because I have a responsibility to talk good about these Jewish people because their ties with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God has to bring them to the point where they need to be so God could brace their lives and their life with other people's life that they can become the brothers that they should be. And you need to bring it out, okay? Because God is in charge. Nobody's religion control what God is in charge of. Nobody's, okay? And they could say, well, they gave it to Peter and all this here, and they left the power down, and the power passed from Peter to this person and that person. Crap. I don't want to hear that. The Bible tells you that there's ones to come at our time of human history that rightly belong to priesthood for the gathering of God's people. And when it say rightly belong, that means that person or that group of people been rejected by society, been rejected by holding certain things. You don't see many black folks holding the priesthoods, okay? You don't see black people holding the priesthood in their church, Baptist, church, Pentecostal church. You hear nothing about no priest in there. You hear a preacher. You don't hear nothing about no priesthood. You don't hear nothing about the Melchizedek priesthood at all in their church. Unless they tie it to a Masonic order and see it as from that point of view, but that ain't, you got to have it all the way too. Okay, you got to have it all the way too. You got to have that Melchizedek priesthood, my people. Okay. You got to be connected to thought. You got to be connected to Melchizedek. And it's very important. Now, the reason I'm saying this here is because the NAACP, although they have did some good things and it's been created by a Jewish organization, now it ain't ready. It can't do what it need to do for us. Why? Because this organization cannot permit or let black people, unless it's changed its old views, help black people build corporations. This organization is not pushing black folks or help black folks to focus on nationalism or a territory, then as time go on, nationalism. Okay? And nationalism deal with the what? The political aspect of the cross, or the political aspect of the 5 laws of God. See, they ain't gonna let you do that. Morally, white folks ain't come tell you that Barabbas was somebody that the white man shaped and put in there. They ain't tell you that. They came and tell you that the one that they got, Jesus, we just don't accept him. But they knew who Barabbas was, but they didn't want to rock the boat or stir the boat. So the Jew walked on the other side. He walked on the other side, just like the rabbi, the preacher and all the other ones, the priest and all that. He walked on the other side. See, he wasn't trying to be a good Samaritan to the brothers that come from the bloodline of Egypt, the bloodline of Judah, the bloodline of Israel. Come on now. Let's talk about this story like it needs to be talked, because this stuff needs to be ironed out now. Then we can move forward. See, the black man don't hate the Jew. He just don't like that he helped enslave the black man and brought him over here. You think the black man don't see that? You think the black man and woman and the black family is not concerned about that? He can't give you his heart because he feels like he cannot trust you, although you want him to. This lecture is about the Jew and the Negroes. This Jew is a certain type of Caucasian from the area of Turkey that deal with the Khazarians, or the Khazars, okay, that live in America. And that individual have, I wouldn't say hijacked our religion, that wasn't the thing. He had to make a choice. He could have went to Christianity or he could have went to Judaism. He decided to go with the Hebrew teaching. That was a very wise choice. So it ain't that he did a wrong choice. He wasn't dealing with no rappers. He wasn't going that way. And he definitely wasn't going to deal with the other stuff neither. No, he wasn't going that way neither. He was a wise Jew. He was a wise Samaritan. He was wise. And we got to be wise. Because what you got to see, although he did not teach you this, you see that you got to emulate certain parts of his life because you need to build a moral standard of your own and see your own God as who he is, the source, and who his priest is, Melchizedek. And you got to see that he blessed us that we could be able to see that because thought is in the Bible, people. Melchizedek is all over the Bible, more than what they got his name at. He's in there as thought, and they put that there to deceive you so you won't know the truth. We need to understand this stuff. Now, let's deal with it because it's very important. Now, we're dealing with the other part. God said, be fruitful, economic. One guy told me, he said, I didn't know fruitful was economic. I thought it was to have babies and children. No, not this fruitful. Multiply is to have the society, the social environment. Fruitful is economics. Fruitful is economics. Fruitful is economics. You got to be able to build your economics, black man and black woman. 60 million black folks in the United States of America are on this, we won't just say in the United States, we'll say on this North American continent. Okay? Because that's what we're concerned about. That's where our mind need to be, as what it is. Although they name it America after Eurocentric man, we on Turtle Island. So we on Turtle Island, and God want to build a nation for himself and his people's on Turtle Island, and he have to use us to do it. We got to start controlling the economic ventures and environment that's in the particular area of Turtle Island, which is North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. We need that, my people. Study Joshua. Study the move from Egypt to Canaan. Because we are walking there now, people. We are walking that mythology right now. Whether you want to accept it or not, you there now. Martin Luther King played the Moses role. Then it took a jubilee. They don't tell you in the Bible that it's going to be a jubilee. That's been left out. It's for the initiates to know that from Martin Luther King time that he's passed away and he had the vision of the dream that I may not make it. I may not have this longevity because he told Abraham about the longevity. So Martin Luther King knew that there was longevity that supposed to come to a people. And he quite well knew who Horace was, people. Study what the man wrote when he was in college. He was graduating from college. So he knew what time it was. You didn't know that he didn't know certain things, but he knew certain things. He was part of fraternity, and certain things he understood. And you need to see this stuff. Now, what we see Martin Luther King, and we see the 50 years, and when you see Martin Luther King time, and you see the Jewish Jubilee that happened in 2018, and 2018 just left us. That means after that 50 years, that 49 to 50 years, we supposed to be on the move. We supposed to be on the move. And the prophecy said in the Soterian and in Exodus that it talked about the 430 years showing you the building of the area of Canaan. into the area of Judah and Israel, but especially Judah. We need to see this stuff. See, I'm not here talking something that's way out there. I'm talking Bible, people. I'm talking about a group of people in America, people that the scripture, see, there's no doubt that when most preachers get in the pulpit and people who understand this stuff, no doubt that they're talking about that Eurocentric Jew in America and around the world, but definitely the one in America. There's no doubt when they talk about that, when they use the term synagogue of Satan. Come on. Come on. Hey, don't do this man like this. Don't do this Jew like that and just try to throw him under the bus because somebody wrote something in and they want you to believe that lie in the age of Pisces, that great deception, and you grab it, read it literally, and run with it. And you done call it your own way, trying to curse a man that's trying to live on this planet just like everybody else. See, I ain't going to sit there and do wrong because somebody else is doing wrong when God done showed me the truth and I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to tell you about it, my brothers, because I told you I won't lie to you. Now, you need to check me and see for yourself. This is important, and why it's so important? Because we at a time now that we as a black people must control the 5 divine laws of God, which is moral, which is economic, which is social, which is political, and which is dying appetite. And they're in Genesis, the 2nd chapter, the 27th through the 29th verse, as God said, I bless them. Moral. God said, be fruitful. Economic. God said, multiply. Sociology. God said, replenish and subdue. Political. And God gave them a diet to eat that's diet and appetite. That's what he said with his voice as the initiate is letting you know. He didn't say a prophet brought this. He didn't say Abraham or Moses brought this like that. It is saying that this is the word that the initiate is saying that God said from his own voice. And they recorded it. See, God do speak to man. Because I done heard certain people say, well, God said something to me. And I said, yeah. When I first heard that, I was like, yeah. But peoples that you have to respect that are gifted and knowledgeable thing and very smart and wise, when they say it, you got to check it out. God spoke to Moses, Melchizedek, so God could speak to anybody today he chooses to. And we got to see that. Now, let's deal with it. The black church have lied to its peoples, okay? But not intentionally, without knowing the truth. See, the black church just didn't know, people. Let me come on. I don't want you to ever get me and think that I'm saying that everything in Christianity is wrong. No. A large percentage of what's in Christianity is a lie. A large percentage. That's why you hear the term the fullness of the Gentiles, and you see the term the fullness of the gospel. Because that truth has to come out and resonate and stand up and be known to the church. So at that certain time, that time had to take the truth off the ground, and God had to use that truth in the intelligence of man through thought to move him to save humanity. And that's what's going on. Now, I'm going over here. I'll deal with that last. I'm going to deal with this now. History have showed, and I told of the Nazis. You see that word almost like Nazi. Why do they want to put a slap in his face with the Nazis coming against the Jewish people? But they say some of the Nazis was Jews. I don't know. Maybe a Jewish comment will come on the thing and tell me what they think about that. I'm not pointing fingers and trying to say stuff bad about the Jewish people. Okay. The Jews are descended. The Ashkenazi Jews are descended from the Khazarians and multiple ethnic groups. And and they are part of this Turkey peoples. You got to see they're part of the Turkey peoples. And we got to see that. They're part of the church. And that's where this area, this whole thing comes from. But I tell you what, I want y'all to go and study this so you can get more of it, so you can know. Because I read most of this, and it's been a while since I got deep into it, but I still remember what I read. Okay. Now, the 5 divine laws, as I said over here, are things that you got to put in consideration and know. The 5 divine laws are in, the 10 commandments are in the 5 divine laws. And most people say, well, I don't know, where does 5 divine law come from? I never heard that before. Any damn preacher never told me that. Your preacher don't know everything. Please. And at this time, when he don't know prophecy, only the church, out of all the prophecies in the Bible, the church probably know less than 5% of what it's really about. The church. So that means you got 95% don't know nothing. So if you was in a classroom, the church will not be concluded. There'll be a total failure when it comes to that part. Not everything, but that part when it comes to the teaching of prophecy. That's one class they will not pass. Okay? That's one class they will not pass. Because they just don't know. They never been taught the keys. They never been taught the arts. And if you don't have the keys in the arts, you cannot. It's like not knowing. That's like coming in a architectural class and you don't know nothing about the Fibonacci sequence. You don't know nothing about geometry. You don't know nothing about the golden ratio. You don't know nothing about certain things, structure and stuff. You would waste your time in that class. You might as well get on out there and walk out that door and sign out of that class, because you ain't built the foundation that it takes to get in the class. Now, in that 400 years that we've been in America, and a part of born in America, and some of us brought to America, that 400 years we've been under the Eurocentric banner, this stuff had not been taught to us, and we didn't know it. So when somebody tells you the 10 commandments are in 2 of the laws of God, you need to listen. Because you need to know that the first 4 of the 10 commandments is about the love of God. The next 6 of the 10 commandments are about the love of thy neighbor, social. So you're looking at moral and social of that. And you're going to see that economic, political, and DNA have been left alone and left out of the church. And the church have always dealt with the separation of church and state. It always deals with staying away from business. But some big churches own large businesses, like the Mormon organization. Shoot, they own Walmart. They own many other places. Marriott. They own cattle ranches all the way down in the state of Florida. They own oil over in Texas. They own and run the whole state of Utah. See, they knew not to stay out of it because they had an understanding of this stuff, but they ain't share it to nobody else neither. If you didn't come in there, because it was about control. If you didn't come in there, it was part of their predictive programming. They had even said that the Mormons, and I ain't trying to beat up on the Mormons, I'm just telling the truth about what I read. Through Brigham Young, they were told that the black man's skin was cursed. That's kind of like contradicting Joseph Smith when Joseph Smith, now you go in there and read it for yourself now. Don't just go take my word for it. Read these things that Brigham Young said for yourself. Now, in Joseph Smith's time, when Joseph Smith, who was the main corporate of this, building this organization, who it spoke of that God in Isaiah, that it talked about the smith that blow the coals in the fire. This man had black individuals right on the side of him, help building that church in the priesthood. But all of a sudden, when somebody else, he died, somebody else come and control the black man's skin, it's cursed. And the curse of Cain and all that other stupidity, junk, come on the scene. Come on, y'all need to be shaming yourself with that stuff. And then later on, right when I get come in that environment to see what's going on and just learn about the priesthood, they wouldn't all the way back up into the 70s, late 70s, they wouldn't even let blacks hold the priesthood. I mean, several hundred years later with that nonsense. See, the Jews, the Mormons, and other people done did things that they shouldn't have done for whatever gain they choose to. But we need to bring these things out because it's time for amendment. It's time for the Jewish brothers to step up to the plate and say, yes, we did what we did. You already know what we did today, so what you want me to say? I won't do that no more. I'll try to make an avenue for you as a brother to be up there and control certain things and be a part of certain things as well. That's what should be coming out of the mouth. And the Eurocentric man, especially the LDSs who following a prophet or a messenger of God who have showed himself to teach certain ideology or certain knowledge that others don't have, and who have said that the God thought or the God and his son have came to him and showed him certain things and about the other churches, leave them alone, but you need to start something here, and they done build an economic system. We need to look at that because that's what we're doing right now. We're getting ready to build an economic structure for ourselves. We're getting ready to go into a territory for ourselves. We're getting ready to do and make a movement for ourselves. We want to be free. We want to be able to have our own beautiful American dream. And not only us, others that see it as well. See, I have talked to business people and some business people who have hit my website and made comments or called me on the phone. One of them say, brother, you know, I like your videos. I'm of one of the high orders and et cetera, et cetera. You know, I know about real estate and I'm involved in this and that. But do you know what you're going to do? And then another one, he said almost the same thing. Hey, brother, he said, if you could pull that one off, all America will be blessed. Do you know the move of people from California, a move of people from Chicago, a move of people from Seattle, Washington, a move from Oklahoma, when they done took their home and they got a $500,000 home, a $3 million home, and they sell that home, and in Florida they could buy for 1/3 the price or half the price. So that means they got so many hundreds of thousands to go in their pocket for investment, and some of them done retired already, and some of them still working, but they're looking for a better retirement, and they see that, and they see they could get in that same job in Florida, or that same job in Georgia, or that same job in Carolina, etc., and they could build themselves at the same time. And they could get some of that, build some of that American dream that had been taken away from them through the jobs situation where they took the benefits away. When they could see that, and that economic boom, because they need houses, they need food, they need clothing, they need insurance, they need banking, they need all that. He said, that's a boom, man. I said, I know. God already done showed me. God already done showed me. But he needs those people in their different areas so they control their own environment, so you don't have to worry about drive-by shooting. That don't mean that you don't have drive-by shootings in Jacksonville, or you have killings in Jacksonville, Miami, West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Atlanta, Savannah, Brunswick, and Augusta, or parts of Carolinas and stuff like that. Don't mean you won't have that. It means that once you build your people, that they could be able to do the Joshua syndrome, and they begin to follow God and follow God's 5 divine laws. You're going to see a movement like never before. You're going to see a movement of people in the hearts and minds of God that focusing on, we're going to make this thing work, just like the brothers and sisters made it work on the Montgomery boycott. That they're going to stick to it because they see themselves are doing something greater. That not only they trying to ride on a bus, they ain't thinking about no bus now. They thinking about a territory. They thinking about having their own banks now. They thinking about having their own restaurants and franchises and stuff like that. They thinking about having their whole hotel chain and their branding. They ain't selling with no bus no more. That was Martin Luther King's job. Joshua's job is to pull you and tag you and push you into the promised land. And this is the time, my people. And this is what we need to see. So the Jew is still looking for the Messiah. So you got to let them know that the Messiah energy is here, and you're going to walk in that energy that God has sought forth through Melchizedek to build that Abrahamic type environment that's known as Israel. See, when Revelation said, I seen a new Jerusalem, it was not talking about the old Jerusalem. He seen a new Jerusalem, and that Jerusalem didn't come out of milk. It came down from heaven. Think about what it's saying. In heaven have 37 different meanings. That means Melchizedek thought God, the man God, that God Almighty have put presence on this earth, have to come back and deal with humanity and build us with the right thoughts in our heads, the right knowledge in our heads, to be able to reach out and build that environment that God said in the beginning. Let man be like us. Let's make man in our image and our likeness. That was to complete man. Mental, physically, and spiritually. And we need to see this. Now, Sister Corinthians, how many more minutes do I have? I don't want to overdo this one. Okay. Now, we need to know that. We need to look in Exodus 20, 1 through 7, that it show you that whole commandments of Moses deal with moral. Exodus 28 through 17 that deal with social. You need to know this, people. You need to know this stuff. You need to know and study this. Do a breakdown. What Jesus said. He said, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy might, and love thy neighbors as thyself. These were all the law in the proper hand. Telling you that them laws is within those two. Moral, loving God. Social, loving thy neighbor. But then he showed you other things because he teaches the cross philosophy. The cross philosophy is in the Bible where he said to man. He told them, in Luke 14:27. And he said, and whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciples. See, black folks, you ain't been carrying your cross. Because if you've been carrying your cross, you will have the economic ventures and economic environments and the political environment and the social environment that you need to build yourself as a people. But you have not been carrying your cross. And today, God wants you to know how to carry your cross. How the thing, what man know thyself means, that come from the fathers. And we need to know this. Now, we need y'all to purchase the books. Now, we need this. Purchase the book. Definitely. This one here. Judgment of America by Louis Jerome Armstrong. You could go and call up, put in your phone and pick up Author House. It'll give you the phone number right away. You can order it directly through Author House, or you could go on Amazon. You can order the book, and you could this one, Judgment of America and Black Nostradamus, Prophecy of American Future. There also you could order it through Barnes & Noble, but just go on the internet, you see the different outlets, and you choose the ones that you want to order the book on. And then you'll be able to purchase this book. It's very important to get this book now. It's very important to get this book as you hear these lectures in this year. And we need you to view all the lectures. That way you can come up to par where we're taking you at. And you'll see that. Also donate to GiveLaFi.com. It's a charitable, Cross Rock is a charitable organization. GiveLaFi.com and Cross Rock Incorporated. Okay, you're gonna see Cross Rock once you pull up this. You're gonna look for Cross Rock and you're gonna plug Cross Rock in, or you can send it directly to Cross Rock Incorporated, 7536 Jana Lane North, Jacksonville, Florida 32210. That's Cross Rock Incorporated, 7536 Jana, Jana Lane North, Jacksonville, Florida, 32210. And the books is known as Judgment of America and Black Nostradamus Prophecy of America Future. Author Louis Jerome Armstrong, myself. Now, I always, and now I got this last minute, but Shirley Oliver of Denver, Colorado, thank you. Thank you. And I want you to see this. Thank you. And I had to throw that in before we go too far, because I want y'all to know that God wants y'all names up here. And I want y'all to see this. So until the next lecture comes, you guys have a blessed day, and we love you.